What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down a good post corner versus a bad post corner example. So we're going to be talking about some of the key things that you guys need to be able to do to create some separation on a double move route. But also, fellas, if you guys need to improve your hands and you don't have a quarterback to throw you the ball, check out that very first link in the description that says 30-day catching program, improve your hands without a QB. If you check out that link, it'll give you access to a 30-day or information to access a 30-day catching program with specific grip strengthening drills, hand-eye coordination drills that do not require a quarterback, 30 days of workouts to get better hands. Hope we can get you guys on that soon. Let's get started with this video. So first things first, going to be taking a look at this post corner route here that gets covered. So what's the bad technique on a post corner? What does not work on a post corner? Then we're going to be talking about what does work. So the main things that you want to be able to do is you got to be able to make this DB believe post with your pad level, with your body language. You got to sell that break, and you want to snap your eyes to that quarterback, and you want to stay in stride. So we see this receiver work out here, and you see how he breaks on this thing, and you see how when he makes this break, he goes to that post, but where are his eyes? His eyes are going towards that post break. DB's not going to commit to it if we don't commit to it, right? If I'm not selling like I'm actually getting the ball right here, and I snap my eyes around like, hey, I want this ball right now, right in this window, this DB will not react to it, okay? He will stay back, he will stay disciplined, because he knows if your eyes are forward, you're either going to be taking this thing out deeper or you're not making that first break. So now, another thing, especially when it's man coverage, right? Look where this DB is going to be watching. He's going to be watching your hips. So if you guys don't commit your hips and don't commit your shoulders on this 45-degree angle break, this DB will not bite on the route. He will stay back, he will stay disciplined, and he will let you just run this route and be lazy with the route. So you've got to make sure that you guys commit three things. It's got to be all about your stride, got to be all about your shoulders and your hips, and all about your eyes. Those are the 3 points of attack that you got to be able to have as a receiver on any double move, whether it's an out and up, post corner, corner post, whatever it might be. You got to make sure that we sell with my hips, shoulders, eyes, and stay in the same stride, because DBs are taught to look for stride. Now let's talk about that. So you see when he makes this thing, you see how choppy his strides are, and he's a bigger guy. So obviously he's going to be having longer strides. He's going to be able to actually run and take 3 full steps on this post break and have to cut suddenly. But you see when he breaks off of this first cut right here, it's choppy steps. And you see how that break is very slow. There's not much explosion there. That tells me, as a guy who's looking at this film from the outside looking in, tells me that he's not really actually running, because the whole way you guys are able to cut, right? If you're a receiver and you're trying to work on your cuts, you're trying to be more explosive with your cuts. The only reason you have sudden feet, the only reason you're explosive and you're able to shoot that foot in the grass is because you're running full speed, right? When you're running like, let's say it's like a 12-yard out route, you're not going to be able to run full speed and be soft at the top of the break. You could be soft at the top of the break and jog and be half speed, but when you're running full speed and you're really accelerating up into a route and you're just sudden and you just pop this thing off and get out, that creates that explosion, that creates that energy at the top of this break, which will get you out of this break faster, but also you're able to sell the route more, right? Because if it was just a regular speed out, or is just a regular, if it was just a regular speed out, or a regular post route, whatever it was, it would be selling vertical, right? So now it's just you flip the script. You're selling post. You got to be sudden with that foot to create that explosion to get you out. So if this DB bites on the break and he shoots down, he's going to be, you bet your ass he knows he got beaten. He's going to be speed turning out of there. But because that cut is soft, we allow this DB to make a play. We allow him to recover, and we allow him to be on top of this thing, and we don't get any separation on this route. So that's a great job by that DB understanding all those things, being able to play this thing, but this receiver could run this route a little bit better. So what could he do? He could commit to the break a little bit more, sell with his eyes, sell with his upper half, be in full stride on the post, and create some energy with that cut because he's in full stride, so that could shoot him back to that corner and create that explosion. We've talked about this before on this page. Any kind of break, whether it's a speed cut, heavy cut, square cut, you break down, you snap down, whatever it is, that cut has got to create energy. It's like a 40-yard dash. You create energy in the first 10 yards and you shoot that out for the next 30. So that's how you have to treat your cuts, but none of it works if you're not actually accelerating and you're not actually running into the break. Let's watch this thing again full speed. So make sure that you sell the route, make sure you don't chop your steps, and make sure that those cuts are sudden so you could explode out of the break. Okay, so now we take a look at this route here. So this is going to be a great example of having sudden feet, committing to the break, and then being able to accelerate off of this thing, right? So now he kind of flattens this thing out a little bit. So you could consider this a post out, but it's the same idea. It's off of a speed cut. A blaze out is where you snap down into the break and you take 3 steps right here to get out. But you see how he just goes off of like one hard cut and he's out of this thing. So you could consider this a post corner. You consider it a post out. It's really the same idea when it comes to selling the route, okay? So if you want to consider it's a post out, you want to be that guy, fine, so be it. So now you see when he breaks to this post here, you see how sudden that cut is, right? So what does that tell you right off the bat? We just got done talking about this. He's pushing vertical. He's selling vertical. He's actually running to move this guy, to get him off of his platform and get him to bail out of there, okay? So now, being sudden with that cut, now what does he have to do? Let's talk about the 3 points of attack. Stride length, pad level, so selling with your hips and shoulders, or not pad level, but body language, and eyes. Those are the 3 points of attack. So let's talk about this. So what's the first thing that snaps around? Eyes. What the eyes will bring the shoulders, the eyes will bring the hips, and now it's just about having speed on that 45-degree break, because you see it's forcing that speed turn. He wants to drive on this thing because we actually were fast into the break, because I actually moved my whole body there. I didn't drift. What so many young receivers like to do is they'll break off of this thing and they drift upfield. They'll drift this way. They'll snap their eyes, but their hips and their shoulders will say otherwise, and this DB's all over that because he knows if he just stays in his position and the quarterback keeps him skinny, that's easy money. That's easy money for him to make a play on. So we're going to make sure when I make this break, it's a sudden stick in the grass. Then it's 1, 2, 3. And you see how he is in full stride and he creates that explosion. Because let's say this DB doesn't speed turn the first time, right? Let's say he just opens up and he wants to drive on this thing. This position right here, especially with the distance that they have, he's going to speed turn out of it. And he's going to try to go make a play because he knows he got beat. But because I was explosive with this cut, I cut suddenly. I'm in a good pad level position. I'm able to put this foot in the grass and I get some explosion, and now I'm here. I could just widen the distance. That's all I got to focus on. I created that explosion with that cut. I could push off of that cut, and I could continue to pump my arms and drive down that angle. So about a double move, any double move, right? Talk a lot about good and bad examples of routes. A good example of any double move route is where you're a salesman first, you're able to create separation, but at the end of the day, you're able to keep separation. That is the ultimate goal, because anybody can get to this point. You guys got to realize that. Anybody can get to this point. Can they do it with correct timing? That's up in the air, right? Because a lot of people can get that separation, but it takes them 8 hours to make a move. Anybody can get to this position, but can you keep this position? When it's tighter coverage, let's say when he's closer, let's say it's like a true press man look and you got to run post corner, post out and up, corner post, whatever it is. Can you get that separation with your eyes, pad level, speed, be sudden with that break and use that break, use the suddenness of that break, create that explosion to widen the gap with the DB? That's what separates a good receiver from a great receiver, right? Those great receivers are able to continue to have that speed. They create that energy and they continue to have that speed out of the break. Let's watch this route again, full speed by Goodwin here. This is a great job selling this route. Great job committing hips, snapping those eyes, staying in stride, create that explosion with that cut because we are going full speed. That break, that 45 break, let me tell you right now, that's probably the most important part of the break, right? Because you've got to be able to have speed. And again, DBs are taught that receivers are going to snap their eyes. But how you can tell is that change in speed, that change in tempo, that they're going to be breaking it back out, or they're maybe going to run a post curl, they're going to slow it down. It's all about deception, fellas. And if you guys can be deceptive with your pad level, speed, eyes, all that, that will get you some separation from the DB. That's why they say it's one of the hardest positions on the football field, because they're going off of you. And it's not about what we do. It's not about what they do right. It's about what we do wrong that allows them to look good, okay? That's what we got to focus on, especially on any double move route. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, leave those in the comments. And also, guys, if you want a 30-day catching program, if you have a quarterback, it works with that. We have alternative options. If you don't have a quarterback, don't have somebody to throw to you, check out that very first link in the description, 30-day catching program. Hope we can get you guys on that soon. 30 days of grip strength workouts, hand-eye workouts, and just all kinds of repetition drills that you guys can do to improve your hands. Hope to get you guys on that soon. I'll see you guys next time.